We're going to start with writing the equations in vertex form in the guided practice packet. So first, what does vertex form look like? Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So same as the problems we were just doing, that we need to find these three items, a, h, and k, if you will. So if this is in standard form, how do I find my a value? What's the coefficient of x squared? It's just 1. So I already know my a value is going to need to be 1. Now, finding the vertex is a bit more wordy as far as how we're going to find it. We're going to start by finding our axis of symmetry. I'm going to keep labeling my work here for right now. Axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So negative 12 over 2 times our a value of 1. So positive 12 divided by 2 is 6. That 6 tells me what the x value of our vertex is. 6. How do we find the y value? Question. Oh, you don't have one? All right, so now how do we find the y value of our vertex? Plug it in. So second mode to quit and go to your home screen. 6 squared, no parentheses needed since it's not negative. Minus 12, make sure you're using the big minus sign, not the little negative. X value of 6 plus 46. Ooh, 46, ouch. Oh, and we get a y value of 10. So folks, it says write each function in vertex form and then find the vertex. There are 2 steps to these problems. Now we have just found the vertex, so I'm going to put a box around that. And that's kind of the work we're going to be showing on these. And on your homework packet, folks, I need to see that negative b over 2a stuff. That's going to re-emphasize the stuff that we did in the previous unit, so that is required work. So actually in the purple packet, let's go ahead and write that. Must show x equals negative b over 2a work. And make sure you answer both question parts. Writing the equation in vertex form and finding the vertex. All right, so we did negative b over 2a. We found the vertex. Our a value is 1. So now we are ready to write the equation in vertex form. We'll have y equals our a value is 1. When our a value is 1, do we have to write it? Nope, you can just have the parentheses. So x. What are we going to use as our number inside the parenthesis? It's 6 in the coordinate, so what will it be in the equation? Negative 6. Don't forget your squared. And then plus 10. And there it is. There's our equation in vertex form. You don't have to check it on the calculator, but you could if you wanted to ensure that this equation is the same as that equation. So you could plug both of those in to make sure they give you the same parabola. Folks, we're going to go ahead and look at number 2 next. Get as far as you can in the next minute.
Food Services. Noah Joy to Food Services.
All right, folks, so before you get too far, don't forget to always look at the A value first. Our A value is -3. So then, axis of symmetry, I'm just going to start writing x equals -b over 2a. -12 over -6 is a +2. That gives me the x value of the vertex. To find the y value, we're going to type it into our equation. So -3 times 2 squared, I don't need parentheses since the 2 is positive, plus 12 times 2, let's try that again. -3 times 2 squared, plus 12 times 2, minus 16, and we get -4. So our vertex is at 2, -4. And don't forget that we need to use the vertex and the A value to write the equation in vertex form. So y equals -3, that's the A value, times x, and then if it's 2 in the vertex, what will it be in the equation? -2 squared. And then -4 for the k value. So the x value of the vertex always switches signs from the equation to the coordinate and vice versa. So this is the amount of work that I'd want to see, showing that -b over 2a, writing your vertex, and then writing the final equation. Folks, any big questions so far? Okay, completely on your own, let's have you try number 4. We'll save number 3 for tomorrow. Go ahead and try number 4. So for your vertex, you should have gotten 3, -7. So again, careful with your signs with your negative b over 2a work. And then for your equation, don't forget that you need to use that a value of negative 5. So negative 5, and then x minus 3, since it's a positive 3 in the coordinate, squared, minus 7. Now, folks, I do encourage you to be checking yourselves. I think this is not a bad test to get 100% on if you use your calculator to check yourselves. So if I forgot the a value, first I type in the first equation, negative 5x squared plus 30x minus 52. And if I type this in without the a value, take a look at what our equation would look like. The vertex would be in the same spot, but it wouldn't be a sad graph, and it wouldn't be vertically stretched. So there's the standard form equation. And there is what I got for vertex form if I don't put that negative 5 in. So it's always to your benefit to check yourself. Your standard form equation should always be exactly the same as your vertex form equation when you type those in on your calculators. Okie dokie. Not so bad. Let's go ahead and do one of these problems down at the bottom. Actually, no, we'll go ahead and do both of them. We've got our vertex at negative 5, negative 3. H value, k value. And then we've got just some point on the parabola, x and y. So we start with what vertex form looks like. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. You're going to want to get comfortable with memorizing that and writing it down, since that shows us what we need to find given the things that we already have. What do we need to find? The a value. So we're going to put negative 5 in for the y. So y. So we're going to put negative 5 in for the y. We're looking for the a value. Our x value, we're going to use negative 4. Now, if it's minus 5 in the coordinate, it's going to be plus 5 in the equation. So plus 5 squared. And then our k value is minus 3. I'm going to turn you loose. See if you can find the a value, and then see if you can write the equation in vertex form. Following PEMDAS, following PEMDAS. And folks, this is work I'm going to want to see as well. All these steps. So 1 squared is 1. So 1a minus 3. Add the 3. And a is negative 2. So that's our a value. Now we need to write the equation with all of those key features put in. Negative 2 for the a. X plus 5 squared, and then minus 3. And that's our final answer for that one, writing it in vertex form. Now the next one is slightly different. It's actually a little bit easier than you think. We have our vertex at 0, 2. That will help us with our h and k. Then the other point, x, y. Now, when we go to put in these values, we'll have negative 3 for the y. A is what we're looking for. And then 1. Now, if it's 0, in the coordinate, what's it going to be in the equation? Minus 0, I suppose, squared, and then minus 2. No, plus 2, my bad, plus 2. So, folks, what's 1 minus 0? 1. What's 1 squared? 1. So we get 1a plus 2, subtract 2, and we get a is equal to negative 5. So putting these values into our equation, we're going to get y equals negative 5 times x minus 0 squared plus 2. Folks, what's x minus 0? X. So we actually can just do x minus 0 is x, and x squared plus 2. This equation is kind of unique because it's the same in vertex form as it is in standard form. Our b value is 0, and this happens when the x part or the a or h part of your vertex is a 0 value. So, folks, I'm going to go ahead and give you some work time on numbers 1 through 12 in the practice set, making sure that you are showing that appropriate work. Write an equation in vertex form for these ones. If you just write the answer, you will not get credit, so make sure you're showing all of those steps.